Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and today is March 5th, 2015, and we have more Dragons of Tarkir Spoilers. In fact, we have 8 new cards to look at today. And before we get started, just a quick reminder, if you haven't had a chance yet, it's a good time to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be presenting these videos every day that spoilers come out up until the whole set is spoiled. And we'll get started with these 4 cards. These 4 cards were actually spoiled yesterday, so we won't go into much detail with them. However, the art we saw on them yesterday was the art for the promo version that you can win at the pre-release for playing the dice game. So this art that you're seeing now is going to be the actual art in Dragons of Tarkir. So this is for Foe, Razor, Regent, Dragon Fodder, Dragon Lords, Servant, and Evolving Wilds. I really like that Evolving Wilds. That art is really cool. So just wanted to show those to you, and now let's get started with the new cards. The first one today is Erishin Foremost, 2 white and a colorless for a 2/2 double striker. He is a warrior, and when he enters the battlefield or attacks another target warrior creature you control, gains double striking until end of turn. So he's pretty powerful. He's a rare, fantastic limited card. What's really nice is when he comes into play, he can kind of surprise your opponent and automatically give a creature double strike, which your opponent might not be expecting that turn. So that's pretty cool. Overall, pretty good card. If there's a white weenie strategy out there, which right now there really isn't, but as we see more cards from Dragons that could change, he would definitely fit into that in Standard. Our next card is a Jute Exemplars, 2 white, 2 colorless. This one's a mythic rare. It's a 4/4. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you get to choose one of the following 3 effects. You can either tap a creature, or else the Exemplars will gain first strike and lifelink until end of turn, or else you can flicker the card. So very powerful effects. Now it does cost 4, but 4/4/4/4 is a good price, good costing. However, it does cost 2 white, which depending on how this format unfolds, that might be a little harder to cast. Don't know if you're going to see this make the jump into Standard. It's, again, powerful and could be the top end of a white weenie curve. However, for the most part, it's probably just going to be a limited bomb. Our next card is Anticipate, 1 blue, 1 colorless. It's an instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them in your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. And I really like this card just because it's an instant. Its effect itself isn't too staggering. It's just basically cycling, but don't underestimate digging through the top 3 cards to pull the best one. And at instant speed, it also interacts very well with the Jeskai mechanics, so I really like this card. I definitely see this being something that would make my 23 and sealed in draft pretty easily, and I also think it potentially could cross over into Standard. Our next card was spoiled as an Italian language version, and we have the translation here on the left. Reisen Executioner, 2 black, 2 colorless. It's a zombie warrior. He can't block. Other zombie creatures you control get +1/+1. You may cast him from your graveyard if you pay an additional 1 for each other creature in your graveyard. So, interesting clause there. Almost feels like you're playing a mini game of Commander almost to keep putting him out into play. But the one thing I'll say about this, he is a mythic, and I just feel like, with some exceptions, Black has not gotten a lot of great mythics. This is a fun card. This is going to be a great casual card. It's going to be a great commander card for a zombie deck, and that, makes sense that it has its role. But I do feel like a lot of fans of Black are starting to wonder, where is my bomb epic mythic rare, and this isn't it. Now, are you going to play him in limited? Sure you are. He's still a good creature. Next card, and this one gets a big flavor win. I really like this. Sirgo Bellstriker, 1 red. He's a legendary creature, 2/2. He can't block creatures with power 2 or greater, and he has the dash effect for 1 red and 1 colorless. So we see Sirgo now in this new reality, and it almost looks like he's maybe gone from Mardu over to Jeskai, and he's gone from being a very powerful, aggressive creature to a creature that's a little more stealthy aggro and smaller. So great aggro card. Again, if there's an aggro deck for him to go in Standard, he'll be there. He is legendary, though, so that's going to hurt a little bit just because you can't play more than 1 copy at one time, and most aggro decks would probably want to play a few copies and hopefully get him in multiples out on the board. But yeah, really fine card for aggro for limited, though. Our next one is Shekar Raptor, and this was spoiled as a Japanese language card and translated as 1 colorless, 2 green, and he's a lizard beast with death touch. Whenever another permanent you control is turned face up, you may return him from the graveyard face up or face down, and he has the Megamorph ability for 1 green and 4 colorless. He's another mythic that I kind of feel like where's he going? So 3/3 Death Touch for 3 is a very fine card, and yeah, it's super limited card. You're going to play it. He has the ability to do the Megamorph and become a 4/4 Death Touch, but at the same time, is there much difference between a 3/3 Death Touch and a 4/4 Death Touch? Probably not really. And his ability is fine, but you do have to remember you can only kind of work it when you're flipping a card, so you do have to, late game, you might not necessarily want to morph and unmorph your creatures anymore. So is it really worth it? And then is that whole mini game worth it to get a 4/4 instead of a 3/3 when he comes back? So don't get me wrong, he's a good card. I like his reoccurring ability. He almost feels like a phoenix in a way. He's going to be hard to get rid of, but I don't know if he's going to work the way you think he's going to work, and that will keep him out of constructed. He's a great guy in limited, though. You're going to play him in draft and in sealed. Our next card is the Tarkas Command, and this is the second one of those cards that kind of fits into that almost quasi-command cycle. And it's a red and a green. It's an instant, and you choose two of the following. Your opponent can't gain life this turn, or else it deals 3 damage to each opponent, or you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield, or else creatures you control get +1/+1, gain reach until end of turn. What makes these cards great is the versatility, and this one's very, very competitively costed. Now, having said that, you compare that to the blue and white one that was spoiled a couple days ago, and this one doesn't feel as epic to me. This one almost feels like a glorified charm. However, the diversity is going to make it a good card, and you're going to be able to easily play this in limited and get value out of it. I don't think it's really going to make the crossover into constructed, though. And our last spoiler for today is Dragon Lord Dromoka. 1 white, 1 green, 4 colorless, and this is another one of the legendary Elder Dragons. He's 5/7. He can't be countered. He's got flying and lifelink, and your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. So Dromoka was a house in Fate Reforged. He's going to be a house here too. Great, great limited card. Now he's mythic rare, but fantastic limited card. Too pricey to see standard play, I'd say, for the effects you're getting out of him, unless there's a ramp deck that wants him. But for the most part, I don't know if you'll see him make the leap to standard. Really great commander card, though. He can be a commander. He's going to be great in a commander dragon deck. I really like these Elder Dragons. I love the flavor and the fact that, yeah, they're going to be great cards in commander, if not commanders themselves. So I do like what they're doing with the cycle. So having said that, those are our spoilers for today. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day.